special session. It is the season, so it's all about curse removals and taking off any bad intentions and negative energy. And I think that this is the perfect time to do that kind of cleansing. So if you're new to the community, welcome babies. You are now one of my babies, and recently you are now one of my jellyfish, okay? So if you're new, you get one kiss on the forelock, so come. Mama loves you. And if you're returning, what do you get? Multiple kisses. Mama loves you. Okay. So we start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, let's get started. Come. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe. Okay, so as we begin, just take a couple breaths here. And I want you to just whether it's generational for a group of souls. So there's layers there. Other times it can be an individual situation. So someone or some group of people that you've known in your life, okay? And just because someone is not a practitioner does not mean that they don't unconsciously dabble in energy. I'm gonna say it again. Just because someone is not a practitioner does not mean they don't unconsciously dabble in energy. Just like religious people also can dabble in energy. Have you ever heard of somebody praying against you? That sounds crazy, right? Why would someone pray against you? But energy is energy. We as, humans, Homo sapiens, describe it in different ways. We have different wisdom traditions, religions, spiritual paths, or nothing at all, or how science tries to catch up to understand what this is, okay? Spoiler, in my opinion, it just seems bigger than me. I just do what I can do, okay? But regardless, you can dabble in the energy. And it's because we are energetic beings. We work with energy. We work with a lot of things too. Just like when you ever get a nice warm hug from somebody you love. It could be a friend, a mother, whomever, a grandparent, an auntie, an uncle, whatever, and you get that nice warm hug. It just feels good. Your body's going to release good chemicals as well, and those chemicals are typically anti-inflammatory, and this is just our natural state. We didn't do anything, okay? So the energy that flows within us triggers things too. Okay, now I'm feeling like I'm talking to apprentices, but I like to explain it, The energy that's in us triggers things too. It's going to trigger the different chemicals in our body. Now, how do we explain that? If you go and look at things like the meridian system, I think that is used in acupressure and acupuncture. That's a good way to look at it. How does your chi, your ki, your life force energy, how does stimulating certain points in the body, how does it trigger a chemical response in the rest of the body? So that's what I'm talking about with life force. I just want to give you all some background so you know I know what I'm talking about. So now that we're understanding life force, now realize that you can be very aware of the routines that you're in, and I'm going to keep on working on you while I'm explaining this, okay? So you can be very aware of the routines that you're in, and you may not even be, conscious that a routine is actually not servicing you. A really easy one, let me get this part. A really easy one is how you relate to others. So if you are a people pleaser, or if you don't have good boundaries with others, or you just have a hard time saying no, that could be a routine that you feel like, oh, it's just because I have a big heart. But really that routine actually is just an unhealthy routine for both you and other people. Learning how to say no strengthens you, and it strengthens other people too, because they respect you, you respect yourself, and it makes it easy for them to understand how to interact with you. So in that one example, to change the routine, which is learning how to say no, is how you change, but it's going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel like, oh, I'm being mean. That's what I'm talking about. That's why it's hard to break curses, because oftentimes people don't know what it is. They have all types of language, rhetoric, memories, assignments in their mind of what this is. And if you get used to it for a long enough time, you get familiar and you start to sympathize with it. So it's just that kind of energy. So you see how that's like a little level. Now a big level, because people who get to the point where they want to come to see me, they're overwhelmed. They have a lot of life stuff. And from what I've noticed is it mostly stems from a lot of unhealed these are situations in which we're walking through and being, unfortunately, willing participants. So, being able to walk backwards, for some people it's analyzing. For other people, they're just like, I just want to change the routine. Whichever is best for you is completely fine, you know. I've changed over the years where I used to think you gotta understand and da-da-da. Now I'm just like, if you're willing and you make peace with it, it is what it is. So you are able to see whatever this thing is, and you validate it now. You see yourself as a young child, or you see yourself, even if you weren't young at this time, you see yourself in whatever the situation is, okay? And you see the wisdom, the understanding, the perspective, the macro view you have now, and go into those situations as you are now. So you would do this in a meditative state or a channeling state. So those are for more of my practitioners who know how to channel, but let's say for most people, it'll be a meditative state, and go to yourself when you were there and protect yourself and make the changes. Sometimes it's you outside of yourself, other times it's you coming into that life and make the changes. And you have to do that over and over and over again. So that's why a meditation practice can be healthy, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. I've actually been saying this for over 10 years, especially when I used to lead meditation groups. I've been leading meditation groups for over, now it's like 17 years. Oh my gosh, time is flying. Oh my gosh, I think it's more than 17 years. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It's been 19 years, wow. Where does the time go? Especially since a lot of y'all think I'm 19, so, you know, I can't beat the vampire allegations, right? I'm just kidding. But am I? I'm just kidding. Anyway, but yes, going back, and going into a meditative state and seeing yourself, that is going to help you deal with the emotions that come up, okay? Now, externally, what you do is you change the habit. The habit is, you already know what it's going to be, and you think you don't, but you do. The reason why you know what it's going to be is because it's whatever you're complaining about. I felt overwhelmed. I felt that I'm left behind. I felt like nothing I do works out. Da, 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 da. Okay, now go drill that down. The last time you tried to do something and it didn't work out, why? Well, when I started doing it, I started feeling so overwhelmed. Okay, was it the stuff that you were doing that was hard, or you just felt inside overwhelmed? Well, when you think about it, it wasn't that hard or impossible, but I feel like something's on me that's preventing me from moving forward. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, so we know that whatever it is you can actually do, but you feel this weight on you when you try to do it. Okay, we're gonna move forward from there. So you feel this weight on you. Do you trust your decision in doing seen throughout the years of my practice, as well as the different practitioners that I've trained, it becomes really clear what it looks like. And not even just working with clients or working with practitioners, working on myself. I say it all the time, you know. I say it to my apprentices, you are your first client. And to always be a forever student, always learning, always understanding. You're going to be continuing to grow and go through the process of life throughout all of life. You know, there's no time where you know everything or you need to know everything to be successful. So just keep going, okay? And I've learned it with my own life. Oh, you know, sometimes it's kind of tough being a practitioner, and I find that over the years, I tend to do less esoteric work. The less, the better. And I think it's because sometimes I can see a shift coming in my life, and it will require, I'll say sacrifice, but really it's just a transition. And so maybe the transition like really throws me off in some area, because when you cleanse out, you make room for things to come in. Things aren't just waiting at the door, and then as you are opening it, it rushes in, and then no, you're cleansing out and things are slowly coming in. So that feeling of losing, okay, maybe in places that you've outgrown but you need to let go of, but are sentimental to you, losing that in order to be open to the next chapter that is unknown, a higher experience, a higher existence for yourself, but it's unknown. It's things you will grow to love that you don't even know about. So that feeling of loss sometimes is really hard for me. So a lot of times in my life, I will do not too much esoteric work, because I'm like, you know what? If it's gonna come, let it come. Knowing that it's coming is kind of tough mentally. And I guess that's for any practitioner. You're like, oh, I had this one transition in my life where I was like, this is weird. Why is this? You know, just little things, right? And then I sat in a channeling state, and it all came to me. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh man, I gotta go do this work. Okay, well, because I was like, well, I'm happy where I'm at, but it was like, there's more. I was like, but no, I'm good right here. But it's like, no, there's more, you know? And I knew not to fight against it, because when you fight against that, that's when those things that used to be blessings start to look like curses, or start to look like just energy that's no longer where you need to be. And I said, okay, I surrender. I appreciate where I'm at now. I make peace with. That's where I just needed to be at that time, and I'm gonna move forward. And I'm so glad I did. When I look back, I was like, girl, what was you on? You know, like you were on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, but in that moment, I was very happy. You know, very happy. But I had to do some work for bigger things, but much bigger things. I was like, oh, okay. And it was tough. The work was tough. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know why I was being asked to do it. But I was like, oh, okay. But I had things in my life that was like, you need to figure this out. I was like, oh, okay. For me personally, I was like, what's going on? And then once I got to where I needed to, I was like, oh, now I see it. And what I like to reflect on too is learning how to respond differently to uncertainty. You know, you don't have to freak out when things are uncertain. Just give yourself grace. I'll figure it out. You figured out everything else up until this point. A little tedious work or a little inconvenience is fine. because there has to be an openness, and we're not going to just be open to random people. There are some people who have like boundary issues, and they're just like, you can see their energies all over the place. But for the most part, if you feel like someone put something on you, it comes in situations of family, relationships, romantic relationships, and very, very close friends. So because there's an openness there, and in order to be in relation with them, or in order to try to understand y'all's dynamics, there is an opening for your energy to be thrown off. Because oftentimes in an everyday setting, if somebody is reckless with our boundaries, we'll never have to talk to them again, or we'll be like no, or whatever. But when it's someone that's close to you, you have to learn how to communicate so that you all can get in a better position. But it takes two, you know. No one person should be in control of everything, and it's communication on both ends. So what happens when the other person in communication and what they say, their actions, their consistency, and how they live their life, how you live your life, what happens when the other person is not as willing? Because it doesn't make a person evil, it just means that a lot of people are going through a lot of things in their life. So what happens when, you know, they're not willing and you have to deal with it? What happens if this is your spouse, if this is your long-term relationship, if this is your close family member, if this is your best friend, if this is your kid, if this, whomever this is, what happens then? That's where it starts to get thrown off. And the best thing that you can do is do what is best for the situation, which is, okay, we need to have this or that better, but you do it by making changes in your life. You can never force anyone to do what you want them to do. Make changes in your life. And if people are comfortable with coming with you, they'll come with you. But if they're not ready to change, they'll resist you, they'll fight you, they'll this, they'll that. That has nothing to do with you. You're not losing out on someone as you are healing yourself, or you're healing your relationship with them. They will eventually come if they're supposed to. And that's how you keep that energy in balance. That's how you release yourself from not being pulled into curses or these routines I'm talking about. But the reason why that's so hard is it feels like a betrayal. It can feel like a parent deserting their child. It can feel like a lover betraying their loved one. It can feel like a best friend just being a shitty best friend, you know. That's what it looks like if there's a component of social aspect to it. So you in a group setting, that makes it even worse, because sometimes people come together as a group and just reproduce just things that aren't effective, you know, in being whole and healthy. But the work is, okay, I want to be better for myself. I want to be better here. And that's what I need to show up. And when you change yourself, they will mostly try to pull you back. If not, they might get upset, or don't be surprised. Some people change. Some people get better themselves. And you have to be open to letting people go, letting people grow, all this stuff. You can't have people tethered. And the resistance against that, having these healthy boundaries, having these healthy dynamics with people, is that, you know, you don't want to be alone. You don't want to let go of people that you love, you know, the people that you prayed to be in your life, who then need to go on and do other things. That's okay. That is completely I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't happen as much as people think. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but it's very expensive. It's extremely expensive. And for anyone who's like, oh, I'll do this for you for $250, we talking about a couple G's, baby, okay? Because to dabble in that kind of energy, it comes back to the practitioner. So those people are, that's a conversation for the apprentices, because we have our voodoo workshop coming up. But that energy that comes to you, what you put out into the universe, you receive. So if you dabble in that energy, it'll come back. So for it to be worth it for someone, it's going to be very expensive. Now people can try, they try to do stuff all the time, and of course if they were close to you, there's going to be an opening. But what you typically see in the person who put it on, their life typically goes into shambles. Like they're trying to hurt somebody else and their life goes into shambles. So it's not always that. There could be family things, there could be generational things, yes, but no matter how any of this came to you, you can break it. I'm telling you, the top way to break any curse, is slow consistency over time, over 5-10 years of just, okay, I'm just like what I was talking about. No one has the energy to keep up with that on both sides. No one feels that they're worth it enough to